Why is it that the person who feeds the dog every morning isn't always the person the dog runs to when something feels wrong? It's a question that quietly confuses thousands of dog owners. You buy the toys, schedule the vet appointments, remember exactly which treats upset their stomach, and somehow, when the unexpected happens, your dog glances toward someone else. The doorbell rings unexpectedly. A strange sound echoes from outside late at night. An unfamiliar visitor steps into the house, and before reacting, your dog turns toward the quiet figure sitting on the couch, almost as if waiting for permission to decide how serious the situation really is. At first glance, this behavior doesn't make much sense. Human beings often assume that affection automatically determines loyalty. We imagine relationships as a simple exchange. The more love we give, the more attachment we receive in return. But dogs don't navigate relationships using the same emotional framework humans do.
Love matters. Affection matters. Play matters. Yet beneath all of those experiences exists another need that has shaped canine behavior for thousands of years: the need to feel safe. Long before dogs became companions, they survived through cooperation. Their ancestors depended on social groups where the ability to read the behavior of others could mean the difference between life and death. Knowing when to investigate a threat, when to remain calm, and when to retreat required constant observation.
Those who paid attention to reliable individuals within their group gained valuable information without exposing themselves unnecessarily to danger. Modern dogs no longer hunt in the wilderness or compete for survival in the same way their ancestors once did. But evolution rarely discards useful psychological tools entirely. Instead, it adapts them. Today's dogs live in a world they only partially understand. They don't know why the vacuum cleaner suddenly comes roaring out of the closet every Saturday morning. They don't understand why strangers sometimes arrive carrying boxes before disappearing again. They can't predict why thunderstorms develop, or why their humans occasionally leave the house for hours at a time. To navigate this uncertainty, dogs continuously gather emotional information from the people around them. They observe posture. They notice tone of voice. They track movement patterns. They pay attention to consistency.
Researchers often refer to this process as social referencing. Human infants engage in similar behavior. Imagine a toddler encountering something unfamiliar for the first time. Before deciding whether to approach or avoid it, the child frequently checks the reactions of trusted adults nearby. If the parent appears relaxed, the child often gains confidence. If the parent appears frightened, hesitation quickly follows. Dogs demonstrate comparable patterns. When uncertainty enters the environment, they frequently look toward their humans for guidance. Before we continue, I'd love to know a little more about the people watching this video. Let me know in the comments what time it is where you are right now and where you're watching from. And if you share your life with a dog, tell me their breed and maybe even their name. I always enjoy reading through your comments and seeing dog lovers from different parts of the world come together to share stories about the companions who mean so much to them. So take a moment and say hello in the comments below. Now, let's continue. The fascinating part is that dogs aren't simply listening for commands. They are evaluating emotional responses. Consider a common household situation. The dog hears a loud crash from another room. One family member jumps to their feet immediately, speaking loudly and rushing toward the source of the noise. Another individual pauses, assesses the situation calmly, and walks toward the sound without visible distress. To human observers, these are simply different personalities responding in different ways. To a dog, however, those reactions communicate very different messages about the safety of the environment. This may explain why so many dogs appear drawn toward individuals who project steadiness during stressful moments. Contrary to popular myths about dominance, dogs don't necessarily prefer the loudest voice or the most controlling personality. More often, they seem to value predictability. They gravitate toward people whose reactions make sense, people who maintain clear boundaries, people whose emotional states don't fluctuate dramatically from one moment to the next. Predictability provides comfort because it reduces uncertainty. Imagine living in a country where you don't speak the language. Every conversation around you becomes difficult to interpret. Social expectations remain unclear. Daily interactions require constant effort because you never quite know what's happening. Now imagine meeting someone whose behavior remains consistently understandable regardless of the situation. Even without sharing a common language, that person would quickly become reassuring simply because you know what to expect from them. Dogs experience something similar within human households. They don't process spoken explanations the way people do. Instead, they rely heavily on repeated experiences to build expectations. The individual who consistently responds with patience rather than frustration becomes easier to understand. The individual who provides structure without intimidation becomes emotionally predictable. Over time, that predictability transforms into trust. Interestingly, this trust often develops quietly. It isn't built exclusively through dramatic moments of heroism. More often, it emerges through hundreds of ordinary interactions repeated over months and years.
The leash clips on before every walk without unnecessary tension. Visitors arrive and are greeted with calm direction rather than chaos. Unexpected challenges are met with thoughtful responses instead of panic. None of these moments seem especially significant on their own, yet together they create a powerful emotional pattern. Dogs are extraordinary pattern recognition specialists. They learn which cabinet contains the treats. They recognize the sound of specific car engines. Many can distinguish between weekday routines and weekend schedules. Given this remarkable sensitivity to repetition, it shouldn't surprise us that they also form impressions about the emotional reliability of the people they love. This doesn't mean dogs care less about affection. The person who plays endless games of fetch fulfills an important emotional role. The family member who shares quiet evenings curled up on the couch offers another kind of comfort entirely.
Relationships are complex, even within canine social worlds. But when uncertainty appears, dogs often prioritize different qualities than they do during moments of relaxation and play. Think about the last time your dog encountered something genuinely unsettling. Perhaps it was a trip to the veterinarian. Maybe it was the arrival of a large, unfamiliar guest. Perhaps fireworks erupted unexpectedly outside your home. During those moments, many dogs perform quick emotional check-ins with the people around them. They scan faces. They monitor body language. They search for clues indicating whether alarm is necessary. The person who immediately tightens the leash, changes their tone of voice, or displays obvious anxiety may unintentionally reinforce the dog's fear. Meanwhile, someone else who continues speaking normally